What's going on? I think we're live. Let's jump in to a Thursday night live stream right here at your Lake Fork Guide. We're going to talk about the best baits, the top 5 baits, like we do every week, for your fishing pleasure this weekend. And I'm going to answer as many of your questions as I can. Somebody's coming through greeting me with a "Hey, Butterball." That's nice. Yes, I'm not skinny. It's true. Unfortunately, it is true. What is the name of the store in Tyler that sells all the 6 cent stuff? That would be Gander Outdoors, I do believe. North Carolina in the house. That is what I'm talking about. Somebody's laughing at Butterball. It's been quite a week. I'm trying to read these comments as they come in. Nick Cavazos said it's been a while since he's been able to catch top 5. Man, I appreciate you joining us tonight, buddy. Thank you so much. How fast is my boat? My Skeeter FX20 Limited Edition, I have had up to 75. That's the fastest I've had it. Somebody's from Arkansas. We got Arkansas in the house. We just going nationwide, dog. Nationwide. I don't know how good these baits are going to work in North Carolina or Arkansas. They might work pretty good. I can tell you this. We're going to talk about some deep water fishing. There is some deep fishing going on right now. I have got addicted to the deep bite. There's a little stretch every year. It's kind of early in the deep water fishing. When those fish are fresh out there and there's some brand new ones showing up every day out there and not just everybody on lakes fishing all day out deep, I know I'm supposed to be like a shallow water guy. But when that's going on, I love to fish deep. I'm a big fan of zigging when others are zagging kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing a lot of deep fishing. Now it's killing me because it's coinciding with like the peak of the bluegill spawn or the brim spawn, whatever you want to call it. And them little brown fish that raid bass nests while they're spawning. Well, now those brim are spawning. Now I know there's some big fish up there picking on them. So it's like a decision I have to make every day. And man, I've just gotten stuck on this deep deal. And more than anything else, I've probably gotten stuck on the deep cranking. Probably Ronnie's influence, hanging around Ronnie Kelly too much. I won't blame it on old Captain Ron's what I'm going to do. It's definitely his fault because he's obsessed with deep cranking. Oh, first announcement of the night, by the way. Please come to our seminar. If you're in the area, stop by our seminar tomorrow night at Lake Fork Marina. It's absolutely free to come to. It is at 6 o'clock at Lake Fork Marina. We're going to have a special guest. We're going to have myself. We're going to have Captain Ron. We're going to be talking about the type of structure we're focusing on out deep for me and Captain Ron, where we're finding these fish, how we're finding them, and how you guys can position on them, locate them, and catch them. We're going to give all that up. We're giving up all the goods on that. We also are going to talk about the bluegill spawn that is going on, that I was fishing real hard, that now I'm kind of not, but I was fishing it real hard. But it's in full swing right now, the old bluegill spawn is. So we're going to talk about that as well. And we're going to have some giveaways. We've got an announcement. Basically, the announcement is Amphibia Eyewear will be for sale on the Your Lake Fork Guide website as of, I believe, tomorrow. We're going to be selling Amphibia eye gear at yourlakeforkguide.com in our online store there. We'll have this model, of course, the camo with the Baja bronze lenses. We will also have several other models of Amphibia Eyewear for you guys to pick from. Here's the big deal. Tomorrow night, we're going to be giving away some awesome custom-built summertime deep water baits. I don't want to disclose what they are because that would give away our guest, but that's coming. We're going to give away a few of those tomorrow night. And for somebody, we're going to give away, free to y'all, a pair of these right here. Somebody's going to get a free pair, brand new Amphibias, to celebrate the launch of the Amphibia sales right there on the yourlakeforkguide.com website. Now, let me see if I can get this crankbait unattached in order to display it for you fine folks out there. Yep, them 8-foot crankbait rods will bang on your ceiling fan, just in case you didn't know. Chartreuse blueback. We're throwing this one, and I'm throwing citrus shad a lot as well. But the 6 cents Cloud 9 C25 and the C20, same ones we talked about last week, those are the 2 crankbaits that I'm throwing. If they won't buy the C25, I'll pick up the C20. If I throw the C20 first and I can't reach bottom, I'll pick up the C25. Just throwing some of both of the C20 and C25 Cloud 9 series from 6centsfishing.com. If you need to go order some, go to 6centsfishing.com and be sure that you punch in that code, your Lake Fork Guide, on the checkout screen in the promo box, and it'll get you a 10% discount on all orders. And we appreciate you guys doing that. I managed to hook it back up without getting a hook stuck in my finger. So that's like a big time plus for me. Number 2 bait, and this bait's getting a lot of bites lately. You know, normally I throw this a little bit later in the summer, but boy, we started throwing it, and it has really been getting bit. The old biffle bug on the 6 cents Divine swing head here. Got the old pivoting football head on that sucker. Big hook in it. Throwing the biffle bug out there a bunch. We're getting a lot of bites on that. That and the Carolina rig's getting most of our bites. So the biffle head, hard head, whatever you want to call it. This is the 6 cents Divine swing head, I believe is what they call it. Get you 10% off on that as well. And a biffle bug. That's getting a lot of bites out deep as well. And next is probably my traditional favorite for deep fishing this time of year. I just feel like it catches a really big fish. I've got a lot of faith in it. The 3/4 ounce, 6 cents Divine hybrid jig right here. Old hybrid jig. That's in the grass mutant color, crawfish drones, my other favorite color. Just greens and browns, guys. A little bit of blue in there. But greens and browns are the main focus. That's a green pumpkin smash crawl for the trailer. That's just how we're throwing it every day. Out on the Goat Lake at Lake Fork with that nice Lew's Hyper Mag and that 6 cents 7.5 extra heavy rod. This has become a bait promotion deal. I don't normally mean for it to be that way. 4th on the list tonight will be the Carolina rig. I kind of alluded to it earlier. Carolina rigs, just 1 ounce Carolina rig, baby brush hog. If you guys have been following this week, we had a super freak show up. We had some bad weather forecast day before yesterday, I believe it was Tuesday. There was some bad weather forecast, some real super high winds, sustained winds over 20 miles an hour. And it was supposed to be some severe storms rolling in the middle of the day. Now, the forecast to the south of us was much better on the wind. The winds were going to be hard in the morning, but they were going to let up early, and the storms weren't supposed to be as severe. So we went to Lake Athens, and my customer caught a 12-pound, 13-ounce post-spawn, just freak of nature. Unbelievable fish. He caught that fish on a Carolina rig baby brush hog. You don't always got to throw the big fish baits to catch the big fish. Sometimes them normal baits that just get bites will catch them too. Unbelievable experience. The guy that caught it did not have a lot of bass fishing experience at all. Of course, that's the way it usually goes. Somebody's saying what color? I assume that's on the brush hog. I'm watermelon anything. Watermelon candy red is the one that I've been throwing, but it can be watermelon anything with a baby brush hog. I am dying to tail chartreuse. So yeah, super freak. Actually, that's the biggest fish any customer's ever caught me. 12 pounds and 13 ounces. It was an awesome experience. Unbelievable experience. Actually, I think, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the biggest fish any guide customer has caught with a guide, and maybe since Lee Livestream's 13-pounder a few years ago. Pretty big accomplishment. It's a pretty big deal. It was awesome. Yes. Is June bug good right now? You can absolutely throw June bug out deep. June bug is always a good color to throw out deep. I really like throwing June bug with red flake out deep on big worms and all that kind of stuff. I had to give me a little drink there. Okay, 5th bait. We still haven't talked about 5th bait. 5th bait tonight is actually going to be a lot of baits. So I want to give you guys a clue for the shallow. That's 4 baits. You can take those 4 baits out deep, and that's going to cover your basis if you want to fish deep. But there is some good shallow stuff going on. So let's talk about that. The bluegill spawn, a little bit of the shad spawn left. But let's talk about the bluegill spawn and the fish that are in the backs of these creeks and pockets. Because to me, the fish that are left on the shad spawn are not real big. Like, you might find a random big one there, but most of them are going to be 2 pounds or less. They're not big fish on that shad spawn deal that's still going on. I have, because of that, kind of bailed on that deal. But the fish on the bluegill spawn, there's some really big females hanging around that. And you can catch those on a hollow body frog early in the morning or on cloudy days. The cowboy frog is as good a color as it gets when it comes to the bluegill spawn. It's called Killer Gill by Spro. You can catch those fish on just a light 1/4 ounce Texas rig, beaver or baby brush hog, just a small creature bait, has a little swimming, a little kick to it. What you need to do is locate these brim beds, locate these bluegill beds, and once you see them, back off them and pitch to every piece of cover that's in front of those within 10, 15 yards. Anything that's close to that bluegill bed that's a stump, a piece of grass, a bush, any piece of cover that's around those brim beds, those big female bass will set up on those pieces of cover surrounding that brim bed, wait for one to wander off, and they will bust his head. If it's real calm and sunny, a wacky worm can be very deadly in the same situation. So if I'm going shallow, I'm going to try to find bluegill beds. If you don't know what bluegill beds look like, they look like a bunch of moon craters all bunched up together on the bank. Try to find those and then fish right out in front of those. Any type of cover you can find, pitch to it with either a Texas rig or a wacky worm. Get that frog out early or cloudy. You should catch some good fish up shallow doing that as well. Okay, that's all the baits. Looks like we've been getting a ton of questions. So I'm going to try to answer as many as I can. How deep is deep? That's a great question because I say we're fishing deep, we're fishing off from structure. Right now, the fish, depending on the day, seem to be in anywhere from like 16 to 19. I would expect that to change. We've got a lot of warm weather kind of happening right now and a lot more warm weather coming. So I would totally expect the fish to move out to the 20 to 25 range within maybe the next few days. So that could happen this weekend. Basically, you're going to need to use your electronics, graph up and down on that structure, and locate what depth they're using, and then find them from there. Am I fishing in the Skeeter tournament? No, I'm not allowed to fish the Skeeter Owners Tournament. Guides on Lake Fork are not allowed to fish the Skeeter Owners Tournament. I wish I could fish the Skeeter Owners Tournament. Eddie Espinoza hanging out with us all the way from Clovis, California. Man, that is amazing. There's people from so many different places across the country that watch what we do here. It's unbelievable. Jason Lafferty, my boy, man, my road dog right there. He's all the way down in Mexico on vacation. Now, he's from DFW, but he's in Mexico on vacation, pausing his Mexican vacation to watch with us tonight. That is unbelievable. J Laff, you're the MVP of the night, for sure. Okay, we got two questions from Michael Sims. Are we going to offer the same glasses with the same lens in gunmetal and black on your website, and also have you thrown that wake frog I gave you? Michael Sims, I have thrown that wake frog, and that thing looks actually, for as dumb as it looked in the box, it looks pretty good in the water. Freddie the frog ain't no joke. I've been fishing deep a lot, so I haven't got a chance to really get after it with old Freddie, but he looks good in the water. I had to throw him once just to see, and I like the action, I like the noise he makes. I think Freddie, in the right situation, might catch some big fish, so I look forward to finding out. On the other question, this same pair of glasses in gunmetal, I know we ordered this same frame in camo. I don't know that we're going to have it in gunmetal. Now, we do have a similar frame. God dang, I just got all the names of these the other night. This is called Hydrofoil. We're going to have Hydra, I believe, in gunmetal black, or maybe we're having, I don't know. Mike, I don't know is the answer. I forgot all of our varieties. Zach Watts is probably, there we go. Gunmetal is currently sold out, available mid-July. So we will not have gunmetal right now, Mike. Zach, thanks for saving the day on there, bud. I stumbled all over that. Wife is driving while I watch on our way to Table Rock Lake. That is awesome. Table Rock in the house. Z-Dub dropped it in. That's good. Z-Dub's bailing me out as usual. He does that a lot for me. Congrats on your customers' big fish. I'm sure that was rewarding. It was awesome. It's just, it's an amazing experience, man. That's all I can say about it. It's what we do. We look forward to that when it does happen. It's awesome. When will the sensory rods be out? Okay, I do have some updated word on that. Sensory rods will be at the end of June. The end of June is what I've been told now. Earlier I was told end of May, early June. Now it's end of June. Some of these bulk manufactured things overseas can get some kinks thrown in them at times. That's what's going on. They make amphibia for a big old head. They absolutely do, Stephen Latham. They make them for big. And we're going to have size recommendations for each frame type that we sell on our website. There you go. ZW again bailing in here with the amphibia help. The amphibia Eclipse are for the large, extra large heads. So the Eclipse frames will be the ones that you're looking for there, Big Steve. Got the Fish Life app and heading to Fork tomorrow. Semper Fi. Hoorah, brother. Appreciate that. Fellow Devil Dog. Always love to hear from you guys. Finesse power shot with spinning setup, line hook, East Texas style. First of all, if it's a power shot, there's no reason to throw it on a spinning rod. Are your deep water spots on Fish Life? Yes, absolutely. We actually just did like a full update, mid-month update, where we went over every spot and redid it. We just moved it to a lot of deep spots. When I started fishing deep, the Fish Life app started fishing deep, guys. That's how Fish Life app works. Whatever we're doing, whatever I'm finding, whatever I think the current best patterns are, that's what's going to be on that app when you open it that day. That's how it works. And that's why we went to the app over the card that we were doing last year. We can be so much more efficient in our delivery system to you guys and put so much better, more current information always out there to you. So that's what's going on. There was another question. What is somebody's finesse power shot on spinner rod? So if you're going to throw a power shot, you don't need to throw it on spinner rod. When I drop shot, that's what I do. A power shot. I call it the Texas drop shot. What we do is we throw it on 15-pound line, 15-pound fluorocarbon. We use a 1/4 ounce to a 3/8 ounce drop shot weight, and we use a 3/0 EWG hook, and we put like a full-size trick worm on there, sometimes even something bigger than that. That's how I like to drop shot on Lake Fork. The water on Lake Fork is not so clear that you need to go to that 6 and 8 pound test like they do in those clear water lakes. So I feel like that works great, and it still gives me that drop shot finesse presentation. And I just throw that on a bait caster with like a medium rod or something like that. The house flipping pattern will be good in eastern Oklahoma. Oh yeah. But the deal is, are they on the front porch or are they on the back porch? Like, you gotta dial that in. I'm just telling you better dial that in. Billy using a drop shot, LOL. It's rare. It's rare me using a drop shot, but it does happen. I don't remember the last time it happened, but it does. Somebody says Guggen trench hog. Sorry, every time I try to look, it gets kicked down. Sorry to ask again, but so many questions. Absolutely, and thank you for your service. Well, Cody Mays, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Guggen trench hog. I have not fished the Guggen trench hog. I fished some of the Guggen baits. I have not fished all of them. I've seen the trench hog. I know if I was going to fish a bait on a Carolina rig, I think that the Bandito bug would be the one I would start with, but that's because that's the one I have experience with. And it's the most like a baby brush hog. So, I mean, the trench hog's probably great. I don't know. I've never fished it. So, no access to the big water. Hoping to catch a few all summer shallow and early. Yeah, I mean, you can catch shallow fish on Lake Fork year round. There's no doubt about that. I think, that's been proven. I mean, I've done it a lot the last couple of years. I'll do it a lot again this year. When everybody on the lake gets out deep, every guide starts fishing out deep in the summertime, and, those guys are kind of beating those fish to death, and those schools get broken up, and those fish get harder and harder and harder to catch. Man, I love to go shallow because not a lot of guys do it in the summertime, and I love it. I'll go back here, I'll find me some grass, get the deepest grass edge I can find, and go to work. And, yeah. Ben Shove, our kayak guy, he says that I may be able to run 75 miles an hour, but he'll race me in his kayak through the north side of Briar Branch any day. You'll win. He goes, I'll be playing strategic pinball off all them stumps out there. Can I get off and fish 3 p.m. in July and August and fish till dark, or am I crazy? No, that's exactly what I used to do all the time. You're not crazy. You just about that life, that fish life, dog. That's all that is. Oh, Captain Ron went to bed on us early tonight. I think his boat whipped him today. Yeah, Captain Ron, he had a rough day, man. His electronics went down on him, and he's doing all deep water stuff. And when your electronics go down and you're doing deep water stuff, that makes for a tough day there. I was not envying him today. He kept asking me how to fix it, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Caleb Collier still waiting on an autograph and a hat from me. God dang it, Caleb. I'm so sorry, man. I totally forgot about that. You got to stay on me about this stuff. I'm going to order it tonight. I'm going to get you a hat tonight, Jack. I'm sorry. I'm going to get it on the way tonight. Can we get some kayak series going? Like, you want me to fish in a kayak? You want me to work and like exercise to go fishing? No. I mean, I respect you guys that do it. I used to fish out of a plastic pond hopper boat, but I had a trolling motor. Like, I don't want to fish out of a kayak. That seems like a lot of work, and I'm probably going to fall in, so I'm out. Sorry. Props to y'all. What depth are we cranking in? 17, 18, 19, 16 to 19, basically, man. That's the depth we're using for the deep crankbaits. How's my wife doing? My wife is doing fantabulous. She is camera shy. She doesn't really like... I've tried to ask her if she wants to come on the channel because I get asked about her from time to time. But she's doing great. The health is great. If you're asking about the cancer situation, she is doing wonderful. 2 years cancer-free. I think it's 2 years. I might be wrong. Yep, she says yes. She's right in that room. See, she is in there, and she is doing good. She just doesn't like getting on camera very much. She's a little shy, believe it or not. Throwing a trolling motor on the kayak. I mean, if I had to get in a kayak, I would 1,000% have to have a trolling motor on it. I'm just going to tell you. I need a little outboard on there so I can get across the lake. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't first, you're last, Jack. How do you narrow down finding bass in flooded waters? That is a complex situation you've got yourself in. To narrow down finding bass in flooded waters, this is what I would do. You need to know what the trend is on the water. And I don't mean temperature trend. I mean the elevation trend. Is it rising? It has been rising, now it's stable, or is it falling? All those things are going to dictate things. When it's rising, that's when it's the toughest to me, because that's when they're going to spread out the most and get as far back in it as they can. And in that situation, I don't know what the answer is. It's put your head down and cover as much water as you can, and fish all the obvious shallow water cover that looks good, and get as far back in it as you can and just grind. Now, once it stabilizes, they'll start setting up in the more stuff, you can kind of pick your spots, points. It won't really be a creek channel swing, but it may be a swing in the terminal bank. Try to get to a terminal bank in the flooded area. Sometimes you can't even get to one, but if you can find one where you can get to the bank, they'll be there. That can be a thing. Because a lot of that terminal bank, you just can't even fish. You can't access. So when you do find one, if they're up on the bank and you find terminal bank, you'll catch them. The real good part to me is when it's falling, because they'll start pulling back out of it, and then it gets real obvious. Wherever the deep water access is, wherever the creek channel swings the closest, wherever the point sticks out with deep water on the side of it, all of that deep water access becomes a big player where they'll still be in that shallow flooded cover because it's such good cover for them, but they're going to be close to deep water because that water's falling. That's when it becomes where you can kind of call your shot and go up there and really dial them in. Man, I hope that helps. That's a tough situation when stuff gets real flooded. It's tough to locate them consistently. That's a pretty good point right there. Nick Cavazzo says, if they drop the level quickly and often when it gets high, the fish learn to stay relative to the original level. So where the old terminal bank was, that's where they'll be. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point, Nick. Thanks for throwing that in there, buddy. How often are our waypoints updated if I pay? They're never more than a month old. They always get updated, a full update on every single waypoint, every single month, on every single lake. On Lake Fork especially, and some of our other guys do as well, we try to provide, like, if any significant changes happen that make those waypoints kind of not useful, patterns change, fish move from shallow to deep, like what we did this month. We did a full rehaul because all of a sudden fish started really gathering up deep in the middle of May this year. We did a full rehaul, put a bunch of deep spots on there, changed all the spawning stuff, like got rid of that, and we did it in the middle of the month. We're going to do what we got to do to keep the information always functional and good. Now, some of these lakes that are getting so high they're getting closed, there's not much we can do. There's no sense in us changing our package for a flooded lake when it's fixing to be dropped back to normal in a week. So some of that stuff that's going on at Louisville and Ray Roberts, we have not adjusted those because we know it's coming. It's coming right back to us. So on those, we didn't make adjustments for that drastic stuff. But when the patterns change, in the middle of the month, we do update. We try to keep everything as current as possible. On average, how many days are you on the water per year? Right at, just a little under, but right at 300. Somewhere between like 280, 290, 300. Probably around 290, 295. Crazy how many factors go into catching a pea brain animal. I'm still getting dialed into the flooded lakes in Oklahoma. Man, I'm going to tell you, it is crazy. I've said this before, and it's one of my more favored sayings. Bass fishing is, it's a lot like a jigsaw puzzle. Let's say you got a jigsaw puzzle that's got 10,000 pieces, 10,000 variables. Watercolor, flooded cover, deep water, points, humps, roadbeds, ledges, bait color, bait presentation. Like, there's 10,000 variables. And then you got this puzzle with 10,000 pieces, and you finally get a corner going. Like when you get the big puzzle, you start getting that corner going, right? Making some progress. Some things are starting to make sense. You got a few puzzle pieces put together, you might say. Right about the time you do that, somebody comes in and changes all the paint. Now none of your pieces match anymore. That's basically what bass fishing is. That's kind of how it goes. Did Stephen Latham just say that I'm the richest person he knows? Dude, Stephen, you got 10 times the money I have, you goober. Dang fishing guy, man. Fishing guys is broke all the time. We spend every dollar we make. Would I rather fish shallow or deep? Yes. I would rather fish deep when I know there's fresh fish out there and there's fresh fish coming to it. I want to fish the freshest, most active group of fish that will provide me with my best chance at my best 5 being as big as they can be on a day-to-day basis. I'll fish them both. I don't care. I like fishing deep. I enjoy fishing. I actually love to fish deep, but I love fishing shallow too. Like, I love them both. I love them both. I really do. Best flipping bait? It's something that's on fire apparently. Best flipping bait? Man, it depends on what you're flipping really. Probably overall, just gun to head and give me an answer. Beaver. Reaction Innovations beaver, probably. Have I ever wondered why you're so addicted to fishing? I mean, all you do is try to catch this creature that lives in the water, yet you dedicate your whole life to it. These are questions I don't need to know the answer to. I'm happy. I don't need to know the answers to these questions. How much do the guide trips cost? Our guide trips cost $500 a day for a full day for 1 or 2 people. Same price either way. Any waypoints for Austin? We do not have any lakes in Austin. When we put these lakes on the Fish Life app, we have to get a partner that's on that lake all the time. It has to be their home lake. They have to be a successful tournament angler that's their home lake. They're on all the time. They have to be a guide on that lake, something like that. We will not do any of these packages. We won't do a new lake unless we have somebody that we know, we can trust, and we believe in their abilities and their commitment to the program. So it's tough to expand this deal as fast as we want to because we're real picky on our standards. I'll tell you this, when we do get a lake from the Austin area, you can purchase that app subscription with full faith that it will be the very best information you can possibly find. Right now we don't have any though, and I don't really know anybody around Austin, so I don't know when we will. Somebody says, I fished Ray Roberts Fish Life app the last 2 weeks. It put me on fish immediately. It increased my knowledge of the lake. Randy Crabtree, we appreciate that review on the Fish Life Ray Roberts package. Thank you very much. Let's do the Cheater Lake on the Fish Life app. We can't because everybody can't go fish it. That's the Cheater Lake because not everybody gets to fish it, Steven. Did you see that Strike King is making a Magnum Menace now? Oh, really? How about that? Some academies have them on display with some new Hack Attack head-knocking buzzbait. You've got to be kidding me. I do not believe for one second that I'm influencing that I'm influencing Strike King, but that is kind of ironic that a buzzbait model that I've preached and preached and preached about when I was throwing buzzbaits the last couple summers, and the big menace on the beds is now for sale. That's pretty ironic. Who got me into YouTube? Well, a good buddy of mine named Chris. Actually, guy, if you guys watch the podcast, the guy that would help me with the podcast. Oh, Chris. When I was first guiding, first couple of years I was guiding, I was I was guiding, and I had another job as well. Me and Chris worked together, and Chris would go fishing with me a lot. He would, if I didn't have a guide trip booked and I was just going out in the afternoon to scout, Chris would come with me. We fished a few tournaments together back before I was guiding and stuff, and we just fished a lot together. And he would take some guide trips with us, paid trips and stuff when I started. Well, he was fishing with me a lot one fall, and we were catching fish. I mean, I was on a glide bait bite back when a glide bait bite was still kind of a new thing, and in the fall, and we were really catching them. Like, the last 2 hours of the evening, you could call your shot. Like, it was, you knew if you throw up there and you twitch that glide bait, you're fixing to catch a 5 to 8 pound fish. It was some really crazy stuff that was happening. And after about the second or third trip in a row that he took with me that this happened, the next time that he came back after that, he came back and he had a GoPro in his hand. And he hands me this GoPro when he gets to the boat ramp, and he goes, "Hey, you have to start filming some of this stuff. It's unbelievable." Because the bite had just been so great. He's like, "You got to start recording this, man. This stuff's crazy." And so Chris got me the first GoPro. And that kind of started the adventure. Now, it took me a long time. I made like 4 videos for like a year and a half before I ever started like making regular videos and doing regular content. That actually happened the year that the Guggen Squad was getting real big. I just was doing some research. I was still doing both jobs, and I was trying to figure out, do I want to quit guiding? I almost quit guiding when I was doing both because I was tired of working every single day, like every single day. Because if it wasn't at my other job, I was always on the water and I was always working, and I didn't have enough time to really put into the guide business like I wanted to, and I was just kicking the idea back and forth. What do I do? So I did some research that August, and that was the year the Guggen Squad was going crazy. Like that was the year they were created, and they kind of started that spring. And seeing that, and seeing the success of that, and just reading some statistics on where the online video industry was going, motivated me to start making my more content. And I just kind of started doing more videos. And then it wasn't just like 3 weeks after that, as fate would have it, Lunkers TV himself called me and wanted to come fishing with me. And so we set it up, and I took him out for free in return for advice on how to format my YouTube channel and how to make these videos. And that's where it really, really started. That was in October. By that Thanksgiving, I was making multiple videos a week, every single week. And a little bit over 2 years later, we are where we are now. We don't have a real big following on the YouTube channel, but it's certainly built a very substantial and humbling guide business for me. But yeah, I almost left the guide business. That's kind of funny, huh? Man, I'll tell you what, guys, we have been on here for pretty long tonight. I got a wife in there, as you guys heard a minute ago, that might want to see me at some point because I've been gone since like 5 o'clock. So I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want to see me. That might be true too. I don't know. Y'all want to ask her? I'm not going to ask her though because I'm scared of the answer. Hey, we appreciate you guys tonight. Please do come join us tomorrow evening. If you're anywhere around the Lake Fork area, we would love to have you at Lake Fork Marina at 6 p.m. for our free seminar, giving away some glasses, giving away some awesome baits. Gonna have a guest speaker. Gonna talk about some good topics. We'll hang around and talk to you as long as you want to when it's done. Come holler at me. Can't say enough how much I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys are the reason that I get to continue to go do what I love to do the most every single day. And it means the world. So thank y'all, and we'll see you next time right here on Your Lake Fork Guide.